Let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Bit Trading, where of course we are going to run through the Bitcoin technical analysis. We are going to take a look at what has been happening, what is currently happening, and of course what we can look for in the near-term future to of course take advantage of that and potentially take some nice trades. So that does all sound interesting. Please make sure that you do smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can of course bring you continue to bring this content to you guys. But enough of that. Let's jump straight on into the charts and take a look at what is going on. So of course, over the weekend, nothing too exciting has really happened, right? We saw just a bit of sideways consolidation, and then of course coming into Monday, today of course we have seen a little bit of a pullback, and I mean, in all honesty, this pullback for me isn't any major sign of weakness. I know that we did show some signs of weakness, and we'll talk about this, but at this moment in time, I don't see any major signs of weakness, and I do still think there is a possibility that we can actually continue up to all-time high, once again making a new all-time high. So in terms of the major, like the major sign of weakness, there was no major sign of weakness, but there was a pretty big sign of weakness just before we did get this pullback right here, because what were we seeing up here? Well, we were seeing pretty large absorption. If we come over and take a look, we'll look on they've finally fixed XO charts on the on the web. For some reason, for the past few days, it has been it hasn't been working as it usually does, but we can get back to using it because it's a little bit easier to use. In terms of that big pullback we saw here, right, which was on the 5th of December. Okay, again, we saw this pretty major sign of weakness in terms of where we were. In terms of the bull market, I wouldn't say it's a major sign of weakness, but in terms of where we were, it was a pretty big sign of weakness. And this was, of course, when we broke 100,000 and price was rising, going to test all-time high again, which was just above $104,500, right? And on the anticipation of making a new all-time high, what did we see? Right, we saw an incredible inflow, of new long trades opening up. So you can see here, 40. This is just longs opening, right? There's just nothing else other than longs opening, right? We had 48 million. 72 million, 18 million, 49 million, 25 million, 61 million, 9.7 million, 15 million, 90 million, 6.9 million, and then we had 14 million. Okay, we just had a huge inflow. Okay, we had a huge inflow of long trades. However, price was actually looking pretty bearish. Why? Because we were failing to make a new high, right? We were forming a lower high. All of these longs were coming in, and of course the CVD, the running total of delta, was telling us, okay, that there was a big player or big players here who were absorbing all of this selling pressure, okay, and of course all of these longs, like 500 million long trades, got absorbed by a big sell limit order, and of course there was not enough long trades to push us through that big sell limit order. So what happened? Okay, price could only go in one direction, right? And of course that was down. And we saw a huge liquidation of pretty much all of those all of those long trades. Okay, we saw a huge liquidation candle down here, and yeah, a lot of those long trades have been wrecked since then. Okay, we have seen a nice correction back towards the upside. That's kind of what is to be expected after a big liquidation like this. Okay, we do tend to see price reverse in the opposite direction, and we did actually come down to levels that I was interested in trading. Didn't take the trade because it's a falling knife that you just do not want to catch. I'm sure that many people have fallen, for falling knives before, and it's not. It's not something you should try and catch. So we do have two new naked points of control down there. We will talk about them a little bit later on. But we did have a monthly naked point of control. We came down to that monthly naked point of control. We came down to this VWAP here. And what did we do at the same time as well? We took out the liquidity from here. Okay. So, of course, we did see, lots of support in this area. And that's exactly where price bounced off of, seeing this huge rise back above $100,000. Okay, and then of course, like I said at the start, over the weekend, bit of consolidation coming into Monday. We've had a bit of a pullback, but okay, this pullback in my eyes is actually quite a bullish pullback. Okay, it is a bullish pullback because what we were seeing up here. Okay, it actually still doesn't look like ExoCharts has completely fixed the issue here. Completely missing out a whole load of price action here from midnight all the way to 7 o'clock in the morning. So that's still really frustrating. Let's see. No, they still haven't fixed it. That's really annoying. Oh well. But yeah, exactly what we were seeing here with this major sign of weakness, not in terms of the bull market, like I said, but in terms of where we were at that moment in time. This was a pretty big, major sign of weakness. Again, we did see this big pullback here. Okay, we can kind of look for the same thing, where we are, right? Because what are we seeing here? Okay, well, we are seeing huge absorption, okay, in terms of all of these sells that are coming into the market, right? We can make it a little bit easier for ourselves. We can go into a higher time frame and we can see the amount of sells that are coming into the market here. And a lot of them are new short trades opening up as well. So what we can see is you can see 4.1, of course, you got the 88 million there, but 4.1 here. 43 million here, 27 million, and that's actually new short trades. You've got 4 million, which is new short trades. You've got 1.6 million, which is new short trades. You've got 2.3 new short trades. You've got 1.5 new short trades, 11 new short trades. Then you've got 15 million, which was longs getting wrecked. Okay, then you've got a million new short trades. Okay, then you've got 72 million new short trades, 25 million new short trades, and then we've got 22 million longs getting wrecked, 32 million longs getting wrecked as well. Okay, longs closing. So we've got a lot of sells coming in, right? And at the same time, a lot of these sells as well are new short trades opening up, right? But what is price doing? Okay, what are we actually seeing price do here? Okay, because we have this really quite large bullish CVD, right? Where, of course, we formed this low with those 88 million long trades getting wrecked, okay, just above $90,000, okay, and then of course we're now forming, we're seeing a bit of a pullback to potentially form a higher low here, okay. Why? Because price is forming, so the CVD is forming a lower low here, telling us, okay, that there are more sells coming in here, okay, whilst prices plateau than there was back here. Okay, however, what happened back here? Price went to a much, much lower price. So this is telling us that there is a series of big players or a big player that sat here with a big buy limit order, absorbing all of these sells. And, exactly like this up here was not, and look at all of those millions. Like even that's over 500 million long trades, okay, that have opened up there. So it's not a small amount of long trades. And it's the same thing here. This is not a small amount of short trades that are opening up, okay, or sells coming into the market. Why? Okay, maybe it's not as many as the long trades here, but okay, it's 72 million. That's a hell of a lot of short trades to open up. Okay, it's a million here, it's 15 million here, it's 11 million here, 27 million here, and then the 4, the 1.6, the 2.3, the 1.5. There's a hell of a lot of short trades that are opening up here. Okay, however, price is holding this bullish structure. So for me, okay, I don't actually see, again, any major sign of weakness here. Okay, any major sign of weakness, even after this huge pullback off of that all-time high, this huge pullback, which was literally around a $14,000 move towards the downside, a $14,000 move towards the downside. Okay, huge move towards the downside, but it's not all that bearish in my eyes. Okay, of course, yes, if we lose $90,000. Okay, or whatever it is, 90,300, 90,250. Okay, if we lose that, right, then that bullish case scenario is kind of wiped off the table. I don't see that as being, I don't see any major signs of strength anymore. Okay, but at this moment in time, I'm seeing a very big major sign of strength. Okay, I really like this. And now it's a case of, right, how can we kind of take advantage of this? I'm just going to enter into a long trade. In my opinion, this is probably a good spot buy. Okay, any move towards the downside here as well is probably just a good spot buy. Okay, again, I personally am not buying spot up here. I haven't bought spot since $35,000. Again, I will remain to not buy any spot. Okay, I am now preparing for a potential bear market, not looking to capitalize on this bull market because I've already done that. Okay, I'm now preparing myself, like we spoke about last week. I'm kind of trying to make a bit of a shift, preparing myself for a bear market. Of course, in a bear market, you want to be more in cash so that you can buy up, right? Not saying that we're going into a bear market. Okay, all I'm saying is that I'm just preparing myself for that, right? But yeah, a good spot buy is just, dollar cost averaging on the way down. I think we are looking pretty strong here. But in my opinion, okay, I will be looking for some major sign of strength before entering into a trade. So, okay, at this moment in time, I don't see any levels that I'm interested in trading. However, if let's say we were to come a little bit lower, okay, let's say we were to come to this VWAP, which of course we've respected, many times in the past. Okay, let's say we come down to this. We actually do have a few naked points of control. We've got we've got weekly and daily naked points of control down here. So there's lots of support down here, in my opinion. We can come take the VWAP, right? Take those naked points of control, right? Get a nice reaction, maybe reclaim that VWAP, okay, for a nice long trade, potentially back up to all-time high. So this is kind of this long trade plan that I have. Okay, this is kind of this long trade plan that I have, and I mean, we will see how this plays out. Okay, because of course, if we come down here and we're not respecting that support, then in my opinion, there's no long trade from there, even if we do have the absorption. Because again, you never want to use a tool by itself. Okay, you never ever want to use one trading tool by itself. You have to, of course, combine them together. Yeah, okay, we're seeing absorption here, but it doesn't mean, right, because we've seen absorption, we can take a long trade. It's a case of, right, we need to respect other confluences. Okay, so if we're not respecting the confluences that we're looking at, right, then there's still no trade, because we can't just take a trade off of absorption, in my opinion anyway. I like to look for confluence. So for me, for a long trade, I'd prefer to see lower. Now, of course, we're seeing absorption now. Okay, we are seeing absorption now. So we may see the rise from higher prices. Okay, we may not make it down there. I do understand that. But that is where I would be interested in taking the long trade. That's where I'm interested in taking it. So we also can pull potential GP786, and that's kind of coming in the region of where we want to long as well. Okay, so there's just even more confluence there, right? GP786, naked points of control just below that 786. We've got a VWAP there which has been respected many times in the past, so I really, really like that area for a long trade. Okay, I really, really like this area for a long trade here, and then it's just a case of are we respecting those levels when we come down there? What's the order flow looking like? Are we still, of course, getting that absorption? Of course, we're still going to see that absorption happen down there. But that's kind of what I will be looking for. Okay, respecting these levels, reclaiming that VWAP, that's the major sign of strength. And then, of course, we can look for price to potentially go back up to all-time high. That's kind of where I would be targeting. Of course, I'll take profits on the way up. Okay, but that's kind of the next trade I'm looking for. Now, in terms of a short trade, very, very simple. No resistance whatsoever above us. The only level of resistance, okay, is all-time high. Okay, that is it. So it's a case of what's going to happen at all-time high. Do we come up to all-time high? Loads of long trades, failed auction it, okay, and we get a pullback, kind of something like we saw here. We had this all-time high. We came up, lots of long trades opening up. We formed the failed auction, big move towards the downside, right? Are we going to see something similar to that? Potentially. Okay, so that's what I will be looking out for. Yeah, I mean, the long trade is kind of what I would be planning for first, right? But it's a case of, do we come down further enough to get the long trade, or do we just see the move up from here? Because like I said, we already have the absorption, okay? We do already have the absorption. So there's not really a huge incentive for price to come down here, okay? Unless we see lots of sells coming in, lots of shorts coming in. Okay, that's the only way I see us coming down here. And then, of course, it's what's happening here. Of course, we will still have the absorption down there. Okay, so it's a case of, right, are we respecting these levels of support down here? If we are, okay, and we reclaim that VWAP, examples like that, okay, then, of course, we can look for the long trade, right? We can look to take that to all-time high, but, of course, taking profits on the way up. Okay, so yeah, we do need a lot, okay, to get down there. We do need a lot of sells to come in because, like I said, we've got the absorption already. Okay, just to go over to XO charts again, as you can see here. Actually, can I? Where are we? It's a little bit easier. Reload all charts. Here we go. Let's see if it loads. There we go. That was nice and quick. So we are looking at this here. So let's go to the hours. Let's go to 4. And here is the absorption right here. Okay, so of course, bullish structure here, right? And then of course, price is forming, CVD is forming those lower lows, telling us that there are more sells coming into the market in this period here than there was on this move down here. However, price went to a lower price. Okay, again, telling us that there is some sort of big fish, big whale, okay, who is absorbing all of that price action. This is my terribly drawn fish, okay, or whale, sorry. But yeah, there's your big whale down there, of course, absorbing all of these cells that are coming in. And then, of course, when all of those cells get absorbed and they get exhausted, okay, exactly like we saw up here, there's only one way for price to go, okay? There's only one way for price to go, and that is, of course, in the opposite direction. So that would be looking for a move towards the upside to, yeah, potentially all-time high again, right? So that's kind of what we are seeing, okay? But now it's the case of, right, we need to be a little bit patient here. We need to wait and see whether we do come down to those levels of interest that I've just spoken about. If we do, again, we respect those levels of interest, then of course we can look to take those, take that potential long trade, right? For some reason it won't let me get rid of this one here. Nope. Okay, that'll have to stay on the chart. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the plan, really. That is kind of the plan. I mean we're still very much in this bullish structure. Okay, yes, you can argue that you've taken that bullish structure there, but yeah, it's a case of I don't see any major sign of weakness up here yet. I remember what we were talking about last week. It was okay. We're showing here, lots of absorption, and there, was big players selling up here. We know this because over 500 million long trades got absorbed on Bybit alone. Okay, so what I was saying last week was, okay, if that continues on these rises up here, we see absorption. That's your big sign of weakness because, of course, we're on a higher time frame here. However, we have not seen that, right? We still have not seen higher time frame absorption. So, in my opinion, there's still no major sign of weakness. And what are we actually seeing? We're seeing higher time frame bullish absorption rather than bearish absorption. This is kind of just indicating to us the price is still looking very bullish. But of course, I'm not just going to randomly enter into a long trade. I need to remain patient, wait for those levels, and we'll see what happens at those levels. But yeah, I will leave that there. Okay, I just want to keep this video straight to the point because, of course, again, I'm still not entered into a trade. Unfortunately, I'm remaining patient and waiting for the best possible trade setup. And of course, that does require patience. So yeah, I will leave that there. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Take care, and I will see you soon. Any visionary members, I'll see you on the Discord. Of course, if I take the trade, you will be the first people to know about it. Any non-visionary members, I will hope to see you in tomorrow's live stream.